Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 3. I figured that today we would be moving forward with the plot instead of going back to the container yard to fight another monster. So, instead of going over there and fighting some other challenge monster, let's just go over here to this huge, massive city. What is all of this about? Empty city. Empty city inhabited only by machines. There's no people there, just machines. I find that very unremarkable, though. If you don't have people, then what is a town with no people? Come on. It kind of looks like... Well, I was going to say modern-day America, but it's... no, more modern-day times, but that's not really modern-day times now, is it? As a matter of fact, this place kind of looks... nothing like modern day times. It kind of looks like a version of modern day times that people would think that futuristic times are supposed to look like. Kind of has like this Blade Runner-esque vibe, but Blade Runner doing it like really, really well. Anyway, right there we get a little bit of protein. But as we travel around this place, it's got this ominous music and these empty places. This empty bar with a pinball machine? Alright, well, whatever suits you. Anyway, rather than exploring, we have these three stores here, which we can buy some accessories and some armor, some weapons, some upgrades in case you wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and buy one Titan belt and just kind of gear up because I want to prepare for things a little bit here. And I want to buy a royal armor. And I want to buy some protectors. I want to buy 3 of them, but I don't have enough money. So I'm going to go ahead and sell the Barbarosas to give me a little bit of extra cash funds here. Protectors are really nice because of the fact that they resist against status changes. That's really, really nice to have at this next upcoming dungeon. Because, well, we're going to deal with enemies that have that. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and equip Ryu, Ray, and Gar, and I'll meet you guys after I'm done with that. Alright, so to look at my setup here, I just have typical setup here with Ryu, but protectors instead of, say, the lacquer shield or the spike gauntlets. The reason why is because I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of defense here for the defense in status changes. With Ray, it's kind of pretty much the same thing. I guess I got the Blizzard Mail, but we're going to go ahead and set that up with Royal Armor. Some Titan belts on Ryu and Ray, because they'll be my damage dealers. And for Gar, I have the Holy Mantle, just so I can lower the chance of running into random encounters. And if I do, got the Hawk's Ring so that maybe I can get a preemptive strike. So that's the setup that I'm going with over here. And as I continue to travel through this weird forbidden city of Serjan, or however you say it, you just kind of find that there's no one here. Let's go over here. What's that? Is that a... looks like honey. Well, I just said that. But yeah. Seems a little bit peculiar that we find a little honey doll over here. Well, we'll find out a little bit more about that in a little while. Let's go up these stairs and... oh, see a nice little treasure chest over here, but something seems a little bit oddly suspicious about it. Let's go down here. And there's just a lone lever, so you already know we've got to pull that lever if it's by itself. I mean, come on. Turn the lights off. And then when we go back out, that's right. It was a little bit too good to be true. But here we are. We found the moon tears. And now if you run into these lasers, you'll obviously get damaged. And Gar is going to be the #1 to get hit by these lasers. He's just so big. So if that happens, just go ahead and press the L1 button, and he'll just be transported to you. So my goal is to just head on over to that staircase right there, and if Gar gets caught up in the middle, I'm going to just press L1 so that he doesn't get too hurt. But he didn't this time, which was pretty nice. Could jump off of that cliff, but let's head over here to this building. And in this room we have computers that are more gigantic than Gar. So, I guess computers were like that back in the, what, late 70s, early 80s? Well, I wouldn't really know much about that. Orbital Station Myria. And go ahead and use the platform. Well, there's a lot of fancy words for just being able to say, we're at this place that houses Riyas Station. And Myria is, well, a pretty familiar word, or I should say pretty familiar name if you've been keeping up here. This is a little lone computer. Let's go ahead and open this. Messing around with the computer opens the gate here. Yeah, I find it kind of interesting the fact that you don't need Momo in this area to be able to operate all these computer and tech scenarios. The lift takes us to Riyas Station, okay? Well, what are we doing? Let's go. Let's hop on. I would assume it's its house? I suppose you're right, yeah. Well, there's only one way to figure out. Let's head on up on the gigantic escalator to Riyas Station. Yeah, you get the real vibe here. I kind of like it. They try to add a little bit of anticipation to the scenario, right? Kind of reminds me of something that I probably would have written when I was 13 years old. But yeah, you know, I get the point. Well, we're here, and there's no real turning back. Because if there was, we wouldn't be able to continue on with the story. Nice little treasure chest there. We're going to have to check that one out. And here we are. Riyas Station. Well, let's get in here and kick some ass. Okay, looks like we're going to be thwarted by a lock. So you know what? Let's use the workers area to kick some ass. And like any ominous dungeon, we're going to have some really interesting monsters here. Here's one. Some armors. Armors are, first and foremost, these guys can drop a really rare drop of Gar's best armor, a Gideon's Garb, I believe it's called. And you'll see that I'm using an aura with this guy, with Ryu to attack these armors because, well, they have pretty massive defense, and I'd like to one-shot them if I can. Yeah, what you'll see is, look at that, 56 damage. They have really, really high defense. So we kind of just want to watch out and just be able to, well, Ryu's so strong that it looks like a reprisal can be able to take him out. But, oh my gosh, a Gideon's Garb, well, that's extremely rare. It's quite literally a 1 in 256 drop, but we'll take it. 10 power, a couple strength of defense more, and so, you know, not bad at all, being the fact that it gives you 10 power. So let's go ahead and switch that out for it. It's a super, super rare drop. I mean, you've heard me say now about 3 or 4 different times, but hey, we'll take it. Definitely wasn't trying to hunt for it. Some gas shells. Oh, I just kind of ran by the terminal, didn't I? Those were just some more armors there. But I was just realizing I ran right past this terminal, which says that we need to perform a breaker check. Before going on to that, though, let's just go ahead and explore a little bit more here. What are we? There we are. Yeah, what you'll find about in this area, in this dungeon, is that a lot of monsters are going to carry some really, really good armors and weapons, but they're going to be extremely rare 1 in 256 drops. There's another armor. I'm just going to take him out regularly. Sometimes Ryu can go ahead and luckily just get enough damage in. But the gimmick with those armors is that they have very, very high defense, but to lower them, all you have to do is simply just hit them once, and there will be a little prompt that says the armor has been cracked. Let's go ahead and flip this switch that gives energy to the breaker, to the elevator here. But once the armor has been cracked, well, then you can finally start hitting the armor with, well, real damage. I want to check out the arrival platform first because, well, when we arrived on the arrival platform, we did see that treasure chest, which is right here. Let's see if we got new enemies here. Ah, some death bots. This will be interesting. We want to learn some skills from these guys. So let's shield a few times. Actually, let's take one out and shield ourselves. The death bots are going to be weak to electricity, just like every kind of robot-like enemy. And let's see, with Gar, just go ahead and defend. So these death bots are definitely notable because of the fact that we want to learn a specific enemy skill. They actually have a very, very good enemy skill that we want to learn. But in order to learn it, well, we've got to kind of boost our defenses up a little bit because it's going to take some time. This enemy skill that we want to learn, it's one of the hardest to learn. And so you'll see me casting shield many times because I'm going to bolster our defense because we're going to get hit by the skill as well as its attacks many times before we actually learn it. I mean, if I'm really lucky, I'll learn it the first try. I highly doubt it. But that's why I'm casting shield right now. And what you'll notice is that, let's cast shield one more time. And for Gar, I'm going to go ahead and unequip the Beast Spear, hit with Ares Spear, because the Beast Spear will take away a percentage of his health the whole time. So the Deathbot, what they do is that they'll cast a bunch of buffs on themselves first, and then they'll go ahead and start attacking and using skills. Specifically, the skill that we want to learn. So after it's done buffing itself, now it'll start attacking and doing skills. The buff sequence goes something like Barrier, Protect, and then I think it starts using skills or attacking a few turns, and then after that it might cast Might. So, but basically just give it some patience and we're gonna try to learn the skill. So it does cast Might. So first it buffs itself with Barrier, Shield, or Protect, and Might, and then it's gonna start using this skill. Let's see if we can get it to prompt here, and you know what, I'm gonna just learn it off screen because it might take a long time to do so. But that's the skill we're looking to learn. Triple Blow, which is really, really, really good. Triple Blow, basically the damage calculation comes out to be doing 150% of one attack. So I'm gonna take some time to learn this skill. It might take a little while, and I'll just fast forward until when I actually learn it. There we go. Picked it up. Triple Blow. And looks like Ryu learned it. Now, what might happen while you're trying to learn Triple Blow is because it takes so many times for Deathbot to actually use it, it does cast 5 AP. And typically what I'll have to do to learn it is that I'll literally have to fill the Deathbot's AP just so that he can start using it again. This time around, I didn't have to do it, which is pretty nice, so I'll just go ahead and finish him off. But if that happens in your case, be sure to just actually burn the Wisdom Fruit, because the skill is well worth the weight and the Wisdom Fruit that you burn. I don't think there's anything over there. No. Well, moving forward, I think that was a pretty good use of our time at the very least. Let's head over to the maintenance deck, because we've been to the workers area. Oh, that's right. I need to go re-equip Gar. I can actually do that here. Did I? did I pick up the... You know, I don't think about it. Another new enemy here, Nightmare. He can actually be finished off pretty quick because of our agility, but he'll cast Sleep on you. He's weak to Holy, weak to things this attack, Demon's Bane. It's extra damage to devils, and because he's a devil type enemy, well, we can actually use it on him. 1,000 damage. Yeah, really, really nice. The fact of the matter is, for some reason, I feel like I didn't pick up that treasure chest while in the heat of the moment with the Deathbot, so I'm gonna go back there. I don't know what was happening. You guys are already on the idea of like, yeah, you already did that, or it's like, dude, why didn't you open that treasure chest? Let's see. Yeah, so in the heat of the moment. And that's why, right, for a wisdom fruit. So, for instance, if you had to use a wisdom fruit on the Deathbot just to be able to... maintenance sec. Just to be able to learn it, well, don't worry, because you get another wisdom fruit right then and there. And I also have to re-equip Gar with his Beast Spear. Whoa, there's a lot of them here. Jeez. What's the best way to do this? I would say, let's just go... Well, I get an EX turn, so like this. And they're going to be buffing themselves, so just go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's the thing about Deathbots, is that they really can't do a lot to you because of the fact that they, well, waste a lot of their time just buffing. I mean, they buff for 3 turns before they actually do any damage. And albeit good buffs, sure. Barrier, Protect, or Shield, Might, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, they'll be dead before they even knew what hit them. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's show... Well, I'd love to show Triple Blow in action, but the fact of the matter is these guys aren't even going to be able to last through 2 hits of Triple Blow. Well, definitely going to last only 2 hits, I would assume. And that should wrap it up for this one. 3 Deathbots, though. That's quite the formation. I don't think I've run into that before. Let's go ahead and move forward here into Riyas Station. And I think in this section, this is the maintenance deck. Which now we're heading back to the workers area. Well, let's move on forward here. Yeah, there's a lot of really good equipment that you can get from these enemies. Well, not these ones, but other enemies here. I mean, I suppose after all, this is the final dungeon of the game. Well, with being at Riyas Station, right? I didn't really think that was much of a spoiler, but... Well, at any rate, going up to this area, we have these 2 terminals that will... Looks like unlocks the main entrance. So now, we have the ability... If we were to ever go back down, we can go ahead just through the front door instead of going through the workers area. On this terminal, we have a laser lock system, which, if we deactivate that, we can move forward within the dungeon. Good stuff. Moving down here, let's check these doors. Security level A. Well, that looks like it takes a key card, security level A. And if that door is security level A, then this door here would be security level B. But we don't have any of those ID cards, so there's nothing we can really do there. Let's head into this room here, where there's a bunch of lockers. Let's check them. 800 Zenny. This one's the harder locker to find something in. An hourglass, which is, well, you see me use during the Archmage. Really good stuff. And one last one is napalm, which is not that great. But over here, this is the main thing that we want. I want to use these beds. Nice save diary as well, which I'll be using here in a little bit too. But the big thing about this is the fact that you can always come back here during this dungeon, which is a real nice anemone to have. I mean, it's the final dungeon. You get yourself some place to rest and save. So I'm going to use this diary here to save and maybe even use some skill note changes, and I'll continue on with the dungeon right after that. Alright, now to show you what I do with skills, it wasn't too much really. What I went ahead and did was I gave Triple Blow to Ray, as you know he used to have this, and now I gave Shadow Walk to Ryu instead. So, if we can see here, there's Ray with Triple Blow. I figured that because he's in the back row, he's not going to be doing as much, and it's only cost 5 AP, so pretty good stuff. I gave Shadow Walk from Gar to Ryu and just put him on super combo just because of the fact that, well, he doesn't really have very much AP to begin with, so no worries. Just a little bit of optimization as far as skills go throughout the dungeon. Yeah, the way that I played through this game, this playthrough around, I really strengthened up Ryu, Ray, and Gar, and the other party members fell kind of on the wayside. Momo's okay, but geez, Pico, god, poor Pico. He had the potential to be so good and I just destroyed it. Well, at any rate, moving along over here in this new room that we have, if we go down here, we can get a life shard, which is pretty good. Let's actually go ahead and use some of those. I've got a bunch of proteins where, give them primarily to Ryu. Yeah, and Ray. I'm giving those proteins to Ryu specifically because, I mean, he gets to attack the most being at the head of the attack formation. Power foods we can go ahead and give to Ray. Fish head, Ryu. Life shard, Ryu. I got any magic shards that I can give to Gar? One. Better than nothing, I suppose. But in this area, this little glass hut right here, well, right there, that'll take you to the very beginning of the, well, the arrival station, as they called it. You'll see in this area we have two little pathways, a gold, red, I guess, and green. And we want to follow the gold pathway. So let's just go ahead and do that for now. Green pathway, we'll search that out in due time. Ooh, here's some new enemies, some adepts. Well, as adept as they are, they're also extremely unremarkable as far as notes on them. I don't really have much to tell you. They're weak to ice, and I think that they can drop a shaman's ring, like, extremely rarely. That's Triple Blow in action, though, at the very least you can see that. I was only able... Looks like Ray leveled up. I was only able to use 2 hits on it, but you get how it works. It's really good for the amount of AP. I mean, 150 attack, basically, like, attacking 1.5 times for 5 AP is well worth it. And, this is slow as hell. God, this is slow as hell. Come on. Thank you. Let's go over here, and... God, Ray. So that... I can't use my camera because Ray is on the conveyor belt. Okay, now I can use my camera. There's the 10,000 Zenny of a chest. What are you doing? Oh my god. Because of that, we got into a battle, Ray. What are you doing? Well, I suppose it's not all at a loss. It's a new enemy. There's a newt. Again, nothing really too notable about the newt. I don't even think he drops anything too great. But there are a couple of enemies that drop and also steal items that are good. And this room right here heals your wounds. Nice to have. Recovery. Always nice. Let's go through this door and get Rice Ball. Holy Robe. Much better than a Rice Ball. Let's move forward here. This leads to a dead end. But if we keep on going here, yeah, move it along down here. Let's go through this first room. I don't think there's anything in this bookshelf. Nope, nothing. Well, we have this terminal here, but more than anything, you'll see this, well, this shock panel grate. Let's go ahead and read this. experiment area? What are you talking about, an experiment? There's nothing experimental about this shock panel. It says don't enter, but the fact of the matter is you can. You can go through this, and you can walk through that electricity just how you are. You don't have to solve this puzzle. Let's see if this is someone new or not. It is someone new. And this is who you can get some really good stuff from. A red drake. So a steal, you can steal a ring of fire from these red drakes. But for now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to use a shadow lock. And go ahead and kill him that way. But these drakes, so there's a red drake, and later on there's also an ice drake too. Oh, I shouldn't say later on. It's in the same area. And those two can actually perform a breath attack. And breath attacks are... the damage is directly proportionate to the amount of HP that they have. So if you're damaged and you do a breath attack, it won't do nearly as much damage. But if they get the jump on me, well, I'm screwed. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is equip Blizzard Mail and Ring of Fire. That way, if they use Ice Breath or Fire Breath on me, I'll be able to basically cover my bases and, well, essentially be able to absorb the damage instead of being able to take it myself. So I'll equip some Magma Armor, which absorbs fire as well, and Ring of Ice. And Gar's just kind of gonna be flying solo. I'm actually gonna equip the life armor back on Gar, just because the life armor, when you walk around, you'll actually gain HP. So, I mean, he's doing fine, but I don't really care for that plus 10 strength for right now. I mean, let's just be honest, Gar doesn't really get very many turns on these normal battles. So yeah, those are the drakes. The drakes also drop extremely rarely. We're gonna skip this room, we'll come back to it. But the drakes will also drop a Dragon Fang, which is Pico's best weapon. What in the hell is this sound? Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, it would be coming from something like that, wouldn't it? Yeah, horrible monster? Yeah, check. That's what it is. Bathing in greenhouse gases? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think you're right, Ray. Let's leave it alone. Yeah. What do you see, Gar? Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I know exactly what it's a key card for. Could it possibly be earlier in the level, or the dungeon? We saw some key card. We saw some key card devices. Why do I call it devices? Sliders? What is it? Slide your card here. Yeah, it's a terrible monster. It's got, like, what is that? A snake body, wings, a Baphomet's head. This is, and we're not going to be fighting it. No way. There's no chance that we'll be ever fighting that, right? No, we'll be fine. Let's just turn off the gas because, you know, we don't want it to wake up, right? So that's why we turn off the sleeping gas. Well, if you check this one, we found a Swallow Eye, which I'll probably give to Ray or Ryu, one of the two. But, until then, well, looks like we're going to go grab that key card there. Until then, guys, I'll catch you next time.